We've got 24th of February. Thank you so much for joining me live. Exercise enemies, right? Okay, so we're going to talk tonight about how to overcome the mind and the movement enemies when it comes to making healthier hormones for yourself, creating healthier hormones. You guys know that I'm all about that. So have you ever said to yourself, like, oh, honestly, I can't be stuffed, or enter other swear words in there? Or what about having a love-hate relationship with exercise? Type in the comments, let me know. Maybe the exercise enemies, I've called them, have got you bad. And this was me. And I'm going to share a bit about my story in a second. But exercise, it can be your friend, or it can actually surprisingly be your enemy as well, particularly when it comes to hormone and gut health. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit more. Let me move my Insta fam over a bit more. You guys are kind of off to the side there. Okay, so I want to share this story. It's actually a story that my grandma still tells, and I reckon this was like 20, 25 years ago. And she tells this story about me as a child at tennis lessons. And I came back into the tennis sheds after literally being out on the tennis court for maybe not even like 5 minutes. It was the middle of summer. It was hot, right? And she said to me, what are you doing? After all, she had paid this money for me to have these lessons. And I was like, oh, it's so hot out there and I don't like getting all sweaty. And she still to this day talks about this and how much I hated exercise and how much I hated getting sweaty. Does anyone relate to that? Like, has this been you in the past, or is this you now? I'm just going to see what's happening on all platforms here. And apologies if I don't get your comments and stuff, because sometimes there is a bit of a delay. So I will get back to you yeah, when I can after this live, because I've got like that many things happening here. So, all right. So yeah, so I was just like, I hate exercise. It's too hot. So things started to change though. This was up until about my 20s. I really hated exercise. Like I played netball as a kid and I did enjoy that. I enjoyed team sports and stuff like that, but I hated getting hot and sweaty. I hated exercise until I actually started to love it. How did I start to love it? Well, this is where I'm going to explain to you tonight exactly how I started to love it. Firstly, here's why you may actually see exercise as an enemy. One, because as a child, you might not have been exposed to exercise or different forms of exercises, or, you know, the adults around you might have had different beliefs around exercise and whether you exercise or not and what kind of exercise, and the relationship that other people around you had with exercise has a big thing. Like the people around you, do they see exercise as something that nourishes your body and your soul, or did they see it as something that actually you have to do it to smash your body to get the weight off, to get the calories off? It's like it's just a thing you've got to do, like that necessity language, have to, should. Can see some comments coming up here. Used to hate exercise because I would feel uncomfortable. Yes, getting lots of comments here. So yeah, and it's so common. Like so many people start from a position, and so many of my clients have started from a position where they've hated exercise. It's the number one thing. Like I've got those of you that are watching live on the Green Tara Wellness Health Hub, make sure you're part of that and jump over in there to get the handout for this this webinar, this Wellness Wednesday, but also you've got to be part of the part of the hub to go into the draw for the giveaway. I'm going to do a weekly giveaway. It's going to be a resource. It's going to help you based on the topic of the Wellness Wednesday. So anyway, yeah, the number one thing my clients and my community explain is the biggest struggle is often exercise and their relationship with exercise and food, obviously. But tonight we're talking about exercise. So perhaps now also, hands up if with all the demands of life, you struggle to fit in your exercise, or maybe the type of exercise you do is very different because you're busy, or maybe the amount is different. Like type in, are you busier? Are you finding that your amount has changed, your type has changed? Like type in what's changed or the same. Type those words in and let me know. Now, when we're in a state of rushing, when we're in a state of stress, when we're in a state of just overabundance of stuff happening in life and always being grateful for having the opportunity to do that, the last thing we can often feel like doing is exercising, right? The reason that it's the last thing we feel like doing is because our body, the last thing it wants is to be put in a state of stress again. And yes, exercise does release feel good hormones, and it can be a really great stress on the body, and it helps with our sleep because it can help us with getting tired and stuff. There are ideal times throughout the day to exercise as well. We should try and exercise earlier in the day. I know some people are different, but the later we exercise at night, that cortisol stress hormone can be spiked. And that can, if you're having troubles with your sleep and you're exercising at night, maybe look at changing that. So it's individual. I just go on so many tangents. I do have like dot points in front of me so I can stay on track, keep this to like 15, 20 minutes, but there's like so much value that I want to share with you guys. But we need to tune into our body. Like if it's already stressed, that's impacting our hormones and our gut health. Therefore, we need to look at the type, the duration of our exercise. This is why it's really important to tune into our bodies first and foremost. There does come a time though, like, yes, we need to rest our bodies and not over exercise, but there comes a time as well where we need to put our health first. We need to say no to the couch. We need to get off the Netflix, say no to the cake, say no to the social media. And guys, this is even if it's just 15 minutes of saying yes to us. 15 minutes, that's the place that I start with a lot of my clients is let's start with 15 minutes. But they go, oh, Tara, that's not worth it. Why bother? I'm going to explain why as we go through. Now, trust me, from my experience, exercise has been one of those things that has changed my life, my mental and my hormonal health. So this is where we're just going to get started. We're going to, and once you start, I was actually chatting to a family friend. They popped in today to pick up something, and their daughter's lost 22 kilos over the past 12 months. Now, I don't say that because I like to focus on weight. No, that's a byproduct of healthy living. But she's now really excited about exercising because she's seeing the results. She's saying hello to those endorphins, those feel-good hormones, which are filtering through all aspects of her life. I'm just going to check the comments. Yep, baby steps, absolutely. All righty, so let's have a look. I'm going to talk about here's how. The first point, when you change how you look at something, what you look at changes. Let me repeat that. When you change how you look at something, what you look at changes. So for me, exercise was a bore. It was hard. I'm too tired. I can't be bothered. It's too hot. I hate getting sweaty. It was all how I was looking at exercise in a negative way. And so for me, it started with just simple things. I started with walks, 10, 15 minutes just around the block. Then started going to the gym, and then back into netball and yoga, and then HIIT training, high intensity interval training, and then weight training. And now I do a combination based on what my body needs at the time. Now, if you guys are following along in the hub, go to the unit 4 and grab the handout because you've got some answers. You've got a worksheet to do there, which is going to be part of the giveaway. Now, what if we actually presuppose, so made it true in our minds, that the mind and body are actually interlinked and they affect each other? You cannot not influence one. So for things to change, first I must change. It all comes down to mindset. Mindset is 80% of anything we do. Like if it was about the exercise, if it was about the food, diets would work. Exercise programs would work, right? But it's about the mindset behind it. So changing our outlook, it starts with choosing other empowering thoughts, like replacing the too tired, that can't be bothered, like it's too hot, like 15 minutes won't even make a difference. Change that to it's only 15 minutes. And I encourage you to start this small, honestly. Your hormones are going to love it better anyway. I know this will make me feel good. This will give me energy. I'm worthy. This is often a big thing. How many of you in the past or even currently think, oh, why bother exercising? I never stick to it anyway. I'm eating crap anyway. So what's the point? Like it comes back to worthiness a lot of the time. And so working on our self-work, that's a whole other thing as well. Okay, so switch your language and see what happens. But first of all, just notice it. If you've seen me talk about the communication model and the brain champion, this is stuff that you need to work on. So go back through the hub. You'll find in one of the units, there'll be the Wellness Wednesday lives, and it's the first one from this year. I talk about the communication model and the brain bully to brain champion. So use that technique. Schedule it in is a second part of choosing and looking at how we see things, even if it's 15 minutes, and then use the 5-second rule. Have you guys heard of that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Have your, so I do this, I have my gym clothes ready on the bedside table, in my cupboard, like I have it out there. I know exactly what I'm wearing to the gym. So then I just get up, put it on, and off I go. Sleep in your active wear if you need. There's so many different steps to actually getting out and exercising, or, you know, going downstairs or getting outside. So take the small baby steps. Even if you don't quite get there, put the active wear on. The next day, then drive to the gym, sit at the front, go home again. The next day, then actually go in there, just have a look around, go home. So you can take these baby steps if you're finding it a real challenge to get started or continue on your exercise journey. So my second point, choose your poison, choose your enemy. In this case, choose your friend. Which exercise regimes, which forms of exercise are you going to choose? What works best for your body? Now, too often we're looking outward. So just ask yourself, what did I love to do as a child? What, if I could start somewhere, what would it be? And just listen, just believe in what you're hearing yourself say to yourself. Just take that as the answer. Even if you judge yourself and go, oh no, I don't know, just go, yep, first answer, that's it. Don't overthink it. Now, this is where your handout comes in handy, and this is part of the giveaway. So tune in, because I'm going to do this at the end. Our hormones love high intensity interval training. So no longer than 45-minute bursts of any of this. Yoga and walking is okay because it's more gentle. So that's the second thing. So first, high intensity interval training. Second is yoga or low intensity like walking. Third is resistance training. So things like weight training. What they don't love, marathon training or long running, and extreme bodybuilding where you're shredding a lot of weight, fat. Our hormones need that. So the later two, the marathon and the extreme bodybuilding, they raise more stress in our bodies, and we don't need more of that, right? We need to start to calm our farm. Okay, so there you have it. We talked about my story behind exercise. We talked about when you change what you're focusing on, let me just repeat that again. When you change how you look at something, what you look at changes. So that's the first thing we talked about. We talked about changing your language and scheduling it in. Like, people fail to achieve their goals because they don't actually schedule it in. So when and what kind of exercise and for how long are you going to do? So schedule that in right now. Make sure you set a time. Like, I already know tomorrow morning I'm going to do some of my weight training, and that'll be at 6:30 a.m. So schedule it in, make it happen, set reminders, whatever you need to do to make it happen for you. Make it small. It doesn't matter if you've got 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something is honestly better than nothing, guys. We also talked about number 2, we talked about choose what's going to work for your body. Is it high intensity? Is it more low, like yoga and walks? I know one of the girls said on Instagram, it's gentle walking at the moment. Is it resistance training? Like, what works for you? Start with what's comfortable and go from there. Now, the giveaway, the first person on either Instagram or Facebook, actually, no, you've got to be in the hub for this, because I'm going to do this in the hub. So you've got to be part of the Wellness Hub. If you're on Instagram, the link's in my bio for the Green Tara Wellness Health Hub. So the first person on Facebook to comment and let me know the 3 forms of exercise that our hormones love, our friends, the exercises that are our friends, is going to get a copy. I think it's happening up here. Is going to get a copy of my Healthy Hormones exercise checklist. So what this does is it has these exercises in more detail, and it also has links to simple online resources that you can use to get started or to continue or to revamp what you're doing currently. So head over to the Green Tara Wellness Health Hub if you're not there already. Let me know the 3 forms of exercise that your hormones love. First person to do that is going to get Actually, I'm going to randomly draw it. Let's be fair. I'm going to randomly draw it. So I'm going to randomly draw out one person to get access to my healthy hormones exercise checklist. You've got 24 hours to watch this and get it done. So guys, I trust it's been helpful. If you have any questions, please comment. I will get back to you. If there's someone you know that would benefit from hearing this, it's really been struggling with exercise, share this with them. Pay it forward, because that's what it's all about. One teaches one, teaches one. Have a beautiful evening, and I will see you in the hub for that giveaway. I'll announce that within 24 hours. See you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.